Hey, what's going on, everyone? We got another special episode with just me. Don't have Ben again this week. Ben and I's schedules did not line up, but the show will continue. I gotta give you guys something with it being playoffs. So, playoffs. Mike and Cameron with the first round bye. They are the only ones that can make the league reset that's in the playoffs. Andrew and Drew, they have a bye in the consolation bracket. And so they are safe from last place. No fear for them to have to do last place presentation videos. I am going to break down the loser bracket matchups first, and then I will transition over to the winner bracket matchups. And I got a small little confession I'm going to share at the end of all this to wrap up this episode. But as always, thanks for joining, for being a part of this episode. All you guys listening. Um, it's still weird doing it by myself. But anyways, I'm gonna go right into the matchup, starting with me and Steve. Steve, last week I told you were gonna lose, and then I told you were gonna lose again this week, and I'm sticking to my guns here. Um, and this was even before that crazy game between the Chargers and Raiders last night. Eckler only getting you 5.8 definitely does not do you any favors. Wasn't going to matter in the end. But breaking down this matchup, I mean, I think across, like, my team has potential to. My team will be more consistent. My team will show up. I'll get about 100 points. Your team does have the opportunity to blow up. I think Dak Prescott is. It's going to come down to Dak for you. If Dak has a big game against Buffalo, which I don't think he's going to, I think Cowboys are going to get kind of bullied this week. But I think that's what's going to impact you quite a bit this week. Matchups for you, you don't have good matchups. I think that's your biggest challenge this week. Brown against San Fran, not that he's been doing great, is going to be hurting you. You got McBride also against San Fran. That's not going to do you any favors. Mixon will probably have a big game. It's Saturday, so we'll see. But I think across the board, for the most part, I do have you beat on matchups. It's easy to say that now because of what Eckler did, but I was going to beat you this week. Steve, your potential arc for a rebound, it's already been on the downhill slide. It's going to continue sliding. You're going to be fighting not to get last place against what I will say will be Taylor, which let me transition over to that matchup. Ryan and Mark, what's crazy right now, you're projected to lose this matchup. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to hold out. I think you're going to win this week. But in the event you don't win, man, the matchup between you guys and Steve would be tough. I do still, in my mind, think Taylor's going to get last all the way through. He took a big hit losing Herbert, but we'll see what Mayfield can do. His team, just with matchups, this will be a tough week for Taylor. Even with Justin Jefferson, if he plays, that's a big question mark. And Ryan's team, I think that could just blow up any given week. I think with Tyreek Hill being compromised, I could actually see the Tua Waddle combo being big. So I have Ryan and Mark winning this week. Over to the championship bracket. Gonna start with Ben and Clark. One of the things. Oh shoot! I just realized I was not sharing my screen, boys. My bad. It's just last place bracket, so who cares? No, we're not paying attention to that just yet. Next week we will. But got my screen up. This match, Clark and Ben. Ben is hurting with injuries. I'm sure he is shaking his head. Like this is what would cause Ben to lose. Clark, going into this week, I don't think you had any business winning. You have every chance to win this week. I think Jacoby Myers doing what he did last night was pretty big for you. You're playing Browning, who's probably going to get more than 14 points. against Minnesota. I still like Ben's team across the board, but if Ben's team does not show up, I, I mean, I don't know. Clark, nothing against your team. I don't think your team has the gas to beat Mickey B or Cameron, and that's what we need. If you do beat Ben, I'm going to be rooting for you, but I think Ben has a better chance all the way through, and I'm still going to pick Ben to win this matchup, but this is going to be close. Injuries are really going to go in your favor for this week, Clark, and you've always just found ways to win. I think I was looking at I was looking at the point differential between you two over the years, or over this year. Ben has scored 300 more points than Clark, which is crazy. Clark has the fewest amount of points going into the playoffs, but sometimes that's how it works. And playoffs are a new season, so Clark, you can win out the whole thing. If you win out the whole thing, I'll be smiling. That'll be perfectly fine. Ben, your team's hurting. I think you're still going to win this week. But man, I'm sure you're getting a little nervous and wondering, wow, this would be the week. I'm starting to have injury problems, and it would be against Clark. So, but this will be a fun matchup. Lastly, I'm going to transition over to Josh and AJ. I think this is going to be a shootout. I could see either one of these teams easily scoring 130 this week. It's tough to give the edge over one team or another. Mahomes is going to be playing angry. Chase, I just don't know. But if Browning has a big day, then Chase will probably have a big day. It's just this is close. CD Lamb, I could see him having a rough day, but then again, I could see him blowing up. CD Lamb is number 3 wide receiver in the league this year. I'll still put Tyreek Hill and Brown above him, but dang, Lamb has been lighting it up. Running backs, I think a lot of it's going to depend on the Miami running backs. They have the potential to blow up, and they might have to rely on them a whole lot more this week with Hill being out. It's just this is a tight, tough matchup. This is the matchup of the week. I do think either one of these teams have the ability to beat anybody in the playoffs. I could see either AJ or Josh going all the way. So whoever wins this matchup, rooting for you next week. So I have no dog in the fight on this one. I just want the better team to win and to show up again next week. That's all I want from you guys. I am going to give the edge to AJ. If I got to pick, I'm going to pick AJ. Your team has been arguably the best team all year. I think it's going to show up this week just enough to beat out Josh. Both of you guys will exceed your projection scores. Both of you will probably score north of 115, and AJ will come out on top. So, with that, that's all we got for matchups. I'm going to end on a small, tiny confession. And it's kind of funny, I think, because it has to do with Orscheln. And I don't think he realized what I did to him. He made a comment about how Ben and I never pick him to win. Or past like 3 weeks, we didn't pick him to win. And then he was winning or whatever. Well, this past week, I picked him to win. And then I took it one step further. In Discord, I set that poll, knowing people would pick him. And just to give me the perfect ammo, an excuse to call him out that no matter what we do, if we pick him to win, he disappoints us and he loses. If we pick him to lose, he disappoints us and he finds a way to win. So what did I do? If you're superstitious, I kind of manipulated a little bit. He was the favorite. I made sure everybody shared that the most they could, that he was the favorite, and then he blew it. So get wrecked. It was worth it because you could cause league reset, and I needed you out of the playoffs. Outside of that, I hope to see you again in the playoffs. And yeah. But yeah, that's all I got this week, guys. Sorry, this is another short episode. Getting into the Christmas season, schedules are just getting a little tough and a little bit more unpredictable. I'm sure that goes for all of you all as well. But until next time, yeah, like, comment, subscribe, And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.